Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm your hostess and your melanated queen. So let's get started. First of all, heute ist Dienstag. Today is Tuesday. Wie geht es Ihnen, everyone? How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Das Wetter ist sehr schön. Die Sonne scheint. Okay, the weather's very pretty. The sun is shining. So for all of the German counterparts out there, I just want to say Guten Tag, okay? I hope alles gut. But anyway, moving along, we're going to get into it, okay? Because what I'm seeing all across the internet is that they're really using this whole Charlie Kirk debacle as a way to incite a lot of division within America where it's already divisive, right? And really the divisiveness comes in with people that feel like they have an imperial mindset. They feel like they have you know, a superiority complex, or they have an inferiority complex, however you want to look at that. I mainly look at it as if those that like to try to oppress other people, they have an inferiority complex, because there's no need to try to oppress another group of people if you feel that you're so supreme, right? And we know that this title and this video is going to trigger a lot of people, which that is not my main point of concern, nor is it my main point of contention. This channel is for my people that need to hear this message, and you know exactly who you are. I want to give a special shout out to all the melanated brown girls out there. Stay walking in your power. I'm proud of you. You know, if you're going to school, if you have a career, if you are being successful in your life, I am proud of you. If you haven't heard anybody tell you that, if you have other females that look like you, that are hating on you, talking about you behind your back, jealous and envious of you, trust me, I've been there. I am proud of you. Even if you have to stand alone and you are a loner, walk in your divinity, walk in your power, ladies. You are not alone. I got to tell you all, this is for my melanated people especially. I want you to really hone in and tune in into your divine creator. I want you to really, in this time, in this day and time right now, what we're facing, I want you to really hone in and tap into your ancestors. I want y'all to get grounded with nature. Go visit a waterfall. Go visit a waterfall of healing superpowers. Go to the beaches, walk in the sand, breathe in the fresh air, get with trees and greenery. Right now, I want you to connect with nature. I want you to get in the sunlight. Although we've been told that sunlight is not good for us because it causes skin cancer, we know that is not necessarily true for the people that are melanated out there. We know that we get rejuvenated from the sun. We know that when we walk into the sun, we are children of the sun. This is why our hair stands up to the sun, which no other being on this earth has that capability. So I don't want you to feel that you don't have special qualities that are unique, because the divine creators made you unique for a reason. The creators made you in thine image. All right, if you want to go off the Christian Bible, which has been indoctrinated into a lot of our lineage, right? And so I really need you to understand the separation of religion and spirituality. All right, because you do not need religion to be spiritual. All right, and if they try to tell you that these oppressors that tried to define who you are were Christians, they are sadly mistaken, right? Because if Christianity is about accepting all and loving all, love thy brother as if you love thy neighbor as if you love, thy brother, and you're supposed to love thy neighbor, they're not practicing Christianity, you all. They are practicing a satanic ritual. What we probably saw was a sacrifice, or either some type of gang affiliation in politics, right? Since the last words uttered from Charlie Kirk was about gun violence in the gang community. So the divine creator and Mother Nature is not playing with people out here. There are higher beings and higher powers that they're watching everything that's going on here, whether people believe it or not. We have ancestors that we have that protect us and walk amongst us. There are angelic beings that are not white, okay? I know that they like to always paint the narrative and whitewash our history, whitewash our spirituality, whitewash everything about this nation, this country, and whitewash this world. But they still cannot get away with the very fabric of where all these things come from. So, melanated people, I want you to stand tall and stand proud and stand strong in who you are. Do not let, okay, the degenerate oppressors offspring tell you and define who you are. They don't get a bold seat at the table to have a conversation at the head of the table and sit with you and look you in your eyes and basically make a mockery of you, telling you who you are, allowing the degenerate people in your race to define the entire group of who you are. They don't get a seat at the table to do that. And as far as an outpour and an outcry of having empathy, at this point, from what I have studied, there is a lack of empathy here. Now, I've already spoke about this on my last video. I've spoken about my feelings and, my thoughts about what happened at that podium when that person was up there pulpit preaching by way of politics. And unfortunately, they were taken out by getting shot in the neck. I've already spoken about that. But I just have to say, melanated people, don't get distracted. Don't get dissuaded. Don't get persuaded to fall for their antics. I want you to continue to walk in your divinity. Continue to hold down what is meant for you. And that is basically carrying out your plans for your future. That is carrying out your goals that you have for yourself and your future generations. I want you to go within, and also I want you to come together more than ever right now, because right now this is a time of separation and divisiveness in this nation, and they're going to utilize any strategy they can to make this happen. For those of you that are out at these HBCUs, even though I am proud of you at furthering your education, please don't be miseducated at the same time. Because one thing we know about the oppressor is that they will give you the problem and the solution at the same time, with the solution having a dose of poison in it, all right? Also, The Miseducation of the Negro, I want you all to read that book. The Miseducation of the Negro. I also want you to read Stolen Legacy, you all, by James Small. Stolen Legacy, and find out why melanated people were not originally Christians, but why this indoctrination took over the entire world and the entire globe. Why we have basically religious wars that kill millions upon millions of people. Why they want to talk about gang violence. They don't talk about how political warfare has destroyed millions of people by just the explosion of one single bomb. Why they don't talk about the bombing of Hiroshima in Japan. Why they don't like to bring up the Holocaust, but this was done by their own people, right? This was done by people that look just like them, and being placed in gas chambers, you all, basically being burned alive. If you read the Diary of Anne Frank, how they had to dye their hair blonde and pretend that they were Jewish. Pretend like they had to be another religion and not be claimed as Jews. So religious warfare has been going on for many decades before we even got here. So to blame melanated people for a lot of the disastrous things that have happened here in this nation, when we know that it has been systematically orchestrated for some of these things to take place. Now, that does not excuse melanated people of degenerate behavior. I repeat, that does not excuse melanated people of degenerate behavior. You know what you're doing. You know who you are. When we talk about right wing and left wing, we talk about politics, red versus blue, right? Democrats versus Republicans. Melanated people don't fall into those antics. We're already divided enough, okay? Also, please read the Willie Lynch letter if you haven't done so. Educate yourselves, educate your children, and do not let the oppressors, degenerate fictitious tales define who you are. Don't let the oppressor's offspring define who you are. Don't let the degenerate oppressor's offspring define who you are, define your narrative, or define your history. His story. His story is incorrect. Talk to your people in your family. Talk to your grandparents, great grandparents. Talk to your aunts, great aunts, cousins, and find out where you come from. Everybody did not come here on a slave ship. Everybody did not derive from the continent of Africa. A lot of us were already here, indigenous people of this land, my Native American people with brown skin such as mine. Be proud in who you are. Be proud of your DNA that the Creator orchestrated inside of you. Understand your DNA and no, you do not have junk DNA like the oppressor told you. There's no reason that something so divine, something that is far more capable of doing anything that any one of us could ever do, would orchestrate us with junk DNA, that it does not matter that we have it in us. Stop letting these people stop letting these oppressors take out your body parts, females. Let them stop, experimenting on you in the operating room, because this does go on. Let them stop prescribing you these white prescription drugs when they go to Africa to actually study the herbs in Africa, and then they go back to their colleges and make up a prescription that they give to you that does not cure the sickness, the illness, and disease, but only treats it so that the pharmaceutical companies can keep getting your money. Stop letting them run a mockery on you and start studying yourself. Go within, sit, and be quiet in your peace. Be quiet in nature. Go within, and I want you to commune and be with your community. Be within unity with one another. If you see somebody that is in need and they seem like a pretty genuine, decent person, help them people. Help those people out. Stop being so one-sided, only thinking about you and yours. This is a time, melanated people. This is a message that we really need to get out for one another. Share this video, like this video. Do not let the likes of a Charles Kirk or Erica Kirk define who you are. Do not let them lead you astray. For those that want to, I guess, empathize in his death, don't let that shake you. Don't let that bother you. Don't let it break you. We have nothing to do with that. That is between those people, and they know who they are, and they know the secret things that they've been doing behind the scenes. And so now they're going to try to paint this person, because of his death, his alleged death. They're going to try to paint him as a martyr, and they're going to try to paint him as something, as a warrior, as something that's angelic, something that stood up to fight for this land. But if he was never in, a war, never was in the army, never was in the Marines, never was in the Air Force, never actually was shot at. I have a grandfather that was in the Vietnam War. So what I am saying, melanated people, don't let him overshadow, don't let these people overshadow what your ancestors fought for. Your ancestors that fought for this land, the ancestors that fought for you, to give you rights, to bring you rights. And those that, were far here way before we were, that actually died and fought fights that we don't even know about to this day. Don't let these people and this person that ridiculed and mocked not only you, but a community of you and your ancestors, to tell us that, oh, we are living in victimhood, when there are so many different stories of what has been done to us. Let's not even get into the Trail of Tears. Let's not even get into the Tuskegee experiments. Tuskegee experiments of the melanated males that they infected with syphilis purposely to experiment on them. I want you to really do research and go back into history, because history does repeat itself. So when they try to make you and tell you to overlook all these things that was so long ago, and as he likes to gaslight people in his rhetoric and his speeches and his debates, We cannot let that occur. We cannot let them get away with this type of behavior, melanated people. Okay, because this is who all these things impacted the most. Now, this is nothing against any other nationality, because I do agree with unity amongst all. Like I said, ich spreche Deutsch, just a little bit, right? Buenos dias, everyone. But for my melanated people, this message is for you the most, because we need voices to stand up for us, and we need to stand up for ourselves and one another. We shall not be overshadowed and foreshadowed by someone who has never walked in the melanated person's shoes, someone that cannot dictate where we've been because they've never actually had to go down memory lane and do all the things that our ancestors have done. They've never had to go through that. They have lived in a state of privilege. They have lived in a state of coming over here and dictatorship and tyranny. That's what they've done to basically conquer this land. And we cannot let this be forgotten, because if you forget where you come from, then surely you will be very unclear on where you're going. All right? History is very important, and not his story. I'm talking about the real true stories that are told by our people. Watch how this might go down in textbooks. Watch the narratives that they are pushing in your children's schools. Read, the textbooks. Read the worksheets that they're bringing home about Thanksgiving that's going to be coming up in the next month or so. I want you to hear the stories that they paint of the pilgrims. Let them not paint this narrative that, it was about pilgrims and Indians and turkeys and goblins. Oh my. Because the real narrative is that melanated people and our ancestors were beheaded or were slaughtered. And that is what you're celebrating when you feast at the table of Thanksgiving. Please understand that. Please understand this thing that you call Christmas, Christ, Mass, the Mass of Christ, which is the basically death of Christ, okay? Christmas is a satanic practice coming from Saturnalia. Please do your research on St. Krampus. I posted a video on here a couple of years ago about it, on the quote-unquote Christmas holiday that you've all been indoctrinated to celebrate through Christianity, by the way. St. Krampus, that came from Germany, and it was the sacrificing of children to a deity named Molech. You think that this stuff does not still happen in politics? It still does. In a lot of these celebrity industry parties, this stuff still takes place. I want y'all to research Abramovich. I can't think of her first name, but she's the person that you've seen Jay-Z hanging out with. Also, I want y'all to also just do your research on all of these pagan holidays that they've shoved down your throat and your children's throat every single year, and understand the true magnitude of what the Christmas tree means with the ornaments hanging off of it. Hence, they just found a college student being hung at a college from a tree. Okay, so I want you to do your research on this, melanated people. I don't care about the comments. I don't care who ridicules you. Please stand in your truth. Stand and walk in your divinity, and let nobody take away, your gift of discernment. I don't care how they try to spin it. I don't care what type of racial warfare or what type of religious warfare they try to incite because of Christian Kirk. This has nothing to do with us. And they're going to use this, right, as an antic and as a tactic to attack melanated people, no matter how you look at it. We had nothing to do with what happened. This is between those people. And because they are always so fixated on us, they will come into this comment section. They will be triggered and offended by this video. I don't care, melanated people. You already know what this is about. Continue to walk in your divinity. I know this video wasn't the most clear because I'm rolling off the top of my head. I'm on limited time. And if you like the video, please like and share. If you'd like to donate to the channel, it's $ BGAB Clothing. That is BGAB Clothing if you'd like to donate to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye, you all. I am signing out. Until next time, you all stay blessed.